The story of a king and his lost thumb. Once upon a time, there lived a king named Solomon who loved to hunt. He was a skilled hunter and loved the thrill of the chase. One day, King Solomon went for hunting in the forest where a tiger attacked him. The tiger was big and powerful, and King Solomon was no match for it. The tiger mauled King Solomon, and during the struggle, the tiger bit off the king's thumb. King Solomon was furious and blamed God for his misfortune. He said, "If God were good, would not have been attacked, and I certainly would not have lost my finger." King Solomon's wise minister tried to comfort him, but the king would not listen. He went home and sulked in his chambers. A few months later, King Solomon went on another hunting expedition. This time, a tribe of pygmies captured him. The pygmies were about to sacrifice the king to their gods when they noticed he was missing a thumb. The chief of the pygmies said, "This man cannot be sacrificed. He is missing a thumb. It is an ancient law that no one who has a missing thumb cannot be sacrificed." King Solomon got saved by the loss of his thumb. He learned a valuable lesson that day, that even the bad things that happen to us can sometimes have a silver lining. The king realized that he had been wrong to blame God for his misfortune. He realized that God had saved his life by allowing him to lose his thumb. The king also realized that he had been taking his life for granted. He vowed to appreciate the value of life and be humbler in the future. King Solomon returned to his kingdom a changed man. He was grateful to be alive and was determined to live his life to the fullest. He ruled his kingdom wisely and justly, and was loved by his people. He never forgot the day he lost his thumb and how it saved his life. This story reminds us that even the bad things that happen to us can sometimes have a silver lining. It's easy to get caught up in the negative aspects of life. We constantly hear news about violence, war, and natural disasters. It can be easy to feel like the world is a terrible place to live and that bad things always happen to good people. But the story of King Solomon reminds us that even during tragedy, there is always hope. King Solomon lost his thumb in a terrible attack, but that same loss saved his life from being sacrificed to the pygmies. We should never give up hope, no matter how bad things may seem. We should always trust God's plan for our lives, even when we don't understand it. The story also teaches us the importance of humility. King Solomon was a powerful king, but he learned a valuable lesson when he lost his thumb. He realized he was not invincible and that he needed to be humbler. In today's world, there is a lot of emphasis on success and achievement. We are constantly bombarded with images of people who are more successful than us. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. We live in a world that is full of uncertainty. We don't know what the future holds, and we can't control everything that happens to us. But we can choose to trust God's plan for our lives and be grateful for what we have and accept the designs of God. The story of King Solomon teaches us that it is important to be humble. We should not compare ourselves to others, and we should not be vain of our achievements. We should be grateful for what we have and trust that God has a plan for our lives and be humble. If we can do that, then we will be able to find peace and happiness, even in the midst of the challenges of life.